Prabodhankar Thackeray, real name Keshav Sitaram Thackeray, was a renowned social reformer, writer, and activist in Maharashtra, India. Born on September 17, 1885, he is best known for his efforts to promote social justice, eradicate caste discrimination, and empower the underprivileged. He was also the father of Shiv Sena founder Bal Thackeray. Books written by Prabodhankar Thackeray. 1. Gram Purohit, a critique of the priestly class and their influence on rural Maharashtra. 2. Marathi Riyasat, a detailed history of Maharashtra from an anti-caste perspective. 3. Chaturanga, focuses on the socio-political structure and reform. 4. Bahujan Samaj Tejpal, about the empowerment of the Bahujan, non-elite community. Top 10 points highlighted by Prabodhankar Thackeray. 1. Eradication of caste discrimination. He was a fierce advocate against the caste system, pushing for equal rights for the marginalized. 2. Promotion of education. He believed education was the key to empowerment, especially for the oppressed classes. 3. Religious reformation. He criticized blind faith, superstition, and orthodoxy, advocating for rational thought. 4. Social justice. Prabodhankar worked towards achieving equality in all spheres: economic, social, and political. 5. Empowerment of Bahujans. He supported the upliftment of the Bahujan Samaj, representing the underprivileged and marginalized communities. 6. Support for women's rights. He was a supporter of gender equality and believed women should have equal opportunities in education and society. 7. Critique of Brahminical dominance. He critiqued the dominance of the Brahmin caste in various institutions and fought for more representation for lower castes. 8. Opposition to British rule. He was a nationalist who opposed British colonialism and worked for the independence of India. 9. Revival of Maratha culture. Thackeray worked to revive the glory of Maratha history and culture, but from an inclusive perspective that celebrated non-elite contributions. 10. Secularism. He believed in fostering a society where people from all religions could coexist peacefully. Top 5 things to know about Prabodhankar Thackeray. 1. Social reformer. Prabodhankar was a staunch reformer, particularly focusing on caste-based discrimination and uplifting the oppressed. 2. Father of Bal Thackeray. He is the father of Bal Thackeray, the founder of Shiv Sena, one of Maharashtra's most influential political parties. 3. Influence on Maharashtra's cultural renaissance. His writings and activism were central to the social and cultural movements in Maharashtra in the early 20th century. 4. Advocate of rationalism. Prabodhankar was known for his rationalist views and strong opposition to religious orthodoxy and superstition. 5. Historian and writer. He was a prolific writer with works that challenged societal norms and encouraged social transformation. His historical writings on Maharashtra are still influential today. Here are 10 important quotes or sentences from Prabodhankar Thackeray that capture his thoughts on social reform, rationalism, and equality. 1. Caste is a curse on humanity. It divides people and spreads hatred. We must work together to abolish it, emphasizing his deep opposition to the caste system and the need for unity. 2. Education is the only tool that can break the chains of social slavery, highlighting the importance of education in liberating marginalized communities. 3. Superstition and blind faith are the biggest obstacles to progress. We must embrace rationality and science, advocating for a rational, scientific approach to life and rejecting superstitions. 4. True nationalism is about uplifting every individual, not about glorifying the past or certain sections of society. Calling for a more inclusive understanding of nationalism that benefits all. 5. The real heroes of society are those who work for the betterment of others, not those who dominate through power. Praising social workers and reformers over political dominance. 6. Religion should be a personal belief, not a tool to discriminate or oppress others. Urging people to keep religion out of politics and social discrimination. 7. A society that oppresses women can never progress. Gender equality is essential for a just world, stating the importance of gender equality in achieving social justice. 8. We must challenge and question all traditions that perpetuate inequality, regardless of how ancient they are, encouraging people to re-examine age-old customs that reinforce discrimination. 9. History belongs to the common people, not just to the rulers. The contributions of the Bahujans must be recognized. Advocating for the recognition of the contributions of marginalized communities in history. 10. Progressive thoughts lead to a progressive society. We must evolve our thinking to adapt to modern times, pushing for continuous social and intellectual evolution for societal progress. These quotes reflect Prabodhankar Thackeray's lifelong commitment to social equality, rational thought, and justice for the underprivileged. Inspiring summary of Prabodhankar Thackeray. Prabodhankar Thackeray was a visionary social reformer, writer, and activist who devoted his life to fighting against caste discrimination, social injustice, and religious orthodoxy in Maharashtra, India. Born in 1885, he came from humble beginnings and rose to become one of the most influential voices advocating for the rights of the marginalized. Through his powerful writings and speeches, he championed the causes of equality, education, and rationalism. Prabodhankar's activism was deeply rooted in the belief that society must evolve beyond outdated traditions, particularly those rooted in caste hierarchy. He stood firmly against the exploitation of the lower castes by the upper castes, focusing on creating a society based on equality and social justice. He also stressed the importance of education as a tool for liberation, especially for the Bahujan Samaj, non-elite. As a prolific writer, his books and articles critiqued the social evils of his time and promoted progressive thinking. His work had a profound impact on the social fabric of Maharashtra, and his legacy continues to inspire future generations. Top 5 contributions of Prabodhankar Thackeray to society. 1. Fight against caste discrimination. Prabodhankar dedicated his life to eradicating the caste system, advocating for equality, and speaking out against the exploitation of the lower castes by the upper castes. His relentless activism played a key role in advancing social justice in Maharashtra. 2. Promotion of education. He believed that education was the primary means to achieve social upliftment. Prabodhankar worked tirelessly to ensure that marginalized communities, particularly the Bahujan Samaj, had access to education, which he saw as a tool for empowerment. 3. Rationalism and Secularism. A staunch advocate of rationalism, Prabodhankar rejected superstition and religious orthodoxy. He promoted scientific thought, rational debate, and secular values, pushing society to adopt a modern and progressive outlook. 4. Advocacy for women's rights. Prabodhankar supported gender equality and fought for the rights of women to have equal opportunities in education and society. He believed that no society could progress if its women were oppressed. 5. Historical and cultural revival. His writings contributed to a more inclusive understanding of Maratha and Indian history, emphasizing the contributions of the non-elite classes. He worked to revive Maratha culture while ensuring it included recognition of all social groups, not just the upper castes. Prabodhankar Thackeray's efforts laid the foundation for many social reform movements in Maharashtra, influencing not only his time, but also future generations of reformers. His contributions continue to resonate in the fight for equality, education, and social justice in India.